Good afternoon, it's Beverly with Designs and Threads. And welcome to my craft room today. It's been a long time. As most of you know, I was hacked in a really bad way in September and I haven't been able to get my pages back. But I made a resolution for New Year's that nobody's gonna steal my happiness. So I'm here. I'm here on YouTube right now. I'm working to get back on the Facebook and Instagram and all the other social media outlets. So we're going to do a really simple heart today because I want to decorate some trees and things in my house. And I know we made some last year, but let's start out with something simple. I've had people tell me, oh, I can't do that. Well, yes, you can. There's something in crafting for everyone. And I want to help you find what it is. So, if you will, let's start with something very, very elementary and simple today. And that is going to be a heart. And we're not going to jazz it up a lot. We're going to do it really simple. And in fact, it could probably be simplified from what I'm doing. You wouldn't have to paint, or you could just paint and not do some of the other things that I'm going to do. So I'm using some Waverly chalk paint and plaster. It's not a bright white. It's just kind of like the next shade. It doesn't have a lot of beige in it. And that's one reason I like the plaster. It's an off-white, but it's not real yellowy. So is that a word? I hope you guys had a great Christmas. And if you're finding me for the first time, please look down on my YouTube channel there and hit the subscribe button so that you'll know when I've uploaded some more videos. Hopefully I'll be coming live on YouTube a little later. I got some new camera equipment and some new things I cannot wait to try. But we're just getting back from my daughters for Christmas, so I haven't had time to even read the instructions on all of it yet, much less give it a try. So I will get there. But I'm wearing my shirt that says Happy Today because I am determined that no one is going to steal my happiness in 2022. The last few months have been tough. I wasn't expecting to get hacked the way I got hacked. And I don't think anybody else would. And why they chose me, I don't know. I had just a measly few thousand, 5,000 followers compared to some of these ladies that have hundreds of thousands and tens of thousands and millions and, you know, like that. I'm small, and that's okay. But I am willing to start over, and that's what I'm doing. So tell your friends about me. I'm back. And with COVID, you know, I think we all have to have an outlet. And I like to I didn't realize I needed such a creative outlet, but I do. And I really enjoy doing all kinds of things. So, and I've still got a new sewing machine in there that needs cranking up and spitting out a lot of projects on too that I purchased and haven't got it up going just great. So I've painted the back up, one side of this heart, that color, and I'm putting the hot air on it to dry it, heating gun. And then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do it over here. This wood is thick enough, I really do not have to do that, and I don't think I'm going to on this side. I'm going to let this be the back side, and I painted it white. And what I want to use on this heart today is some paper, and it's called Redbirds. It looks like red birds and shades of pink, and it just looks like spring and Valentine's to me. And I got this many months ago, and I think it was at Hobby Lobby, if I remember correctly. It's Hobby Lobby or Michael's one, and I think it was Hobby Lobby. But I love the red birds and the pink. So what I'm going to do, we're going to trace around. I'm going to trace around this, if I can find a pencil. Let's see. I didn't. It's been so long since I've been in my craft room. We've been gone, and that I don't even know where my things are. So I'm going to trace around it with a little pencil. And okay. And leave it right there. I promised you that we were going to do it the easy way today that anybody could do, and that's exactly what we are doing. Let's see. Really, I thought I saw some other scissors in here a few minutes ago. Let's see. Well, maybe I didn't. I'll just use these because I do not want to stop and go get some more. And these need sharpening. They are my Ginger scissors, but I have a newer pair that I use with fabrics than this pair. This pair is about 40 years old. But I still don't cut a lot of paper with them. Oh, I didn't do a good job of tracing right in there. Let's see. My table's a little high for me today, but that is okay. And I'm going to go right down in here a little bit more. I don't have all my Christmas things down, and I probably won't for another week or two. And I didn't do as much as I normally do because we go to my daughters, our daughters, and some of my things I'm going to transition into Valentine's and spring. So I always save my leftovers. Bring it back. And see, we'll fit it on here as close as we can. And I'm going to put it on with some Mod Podge. And I just grabbed what I had handy, and it says it's gloss. And that's okay. And I'll grab a brush that I've wet. I didn't want to just put Mod Podge on it. Put a little bit out, and if I put too much, I'll just get something and pick it up. We want a good coat of Mod Podge to hold the paper on. This is a thicker paper, but that makes it easy to work with, and we'll have no bubbles and wrinkles and, you know, all those kinds of things that you can have with doing Mod Podge. And that's why I said this is an easy one today. We aren't working with thin tissue paper or a napkin or anything like that. This is a thicker paper, and anybody can work with the thicker papers. Spread all this out. Spread it all out good, and I've got a little fan going above me, so I don't need it drying out before I get this on. Okay. I may have to stand up and kind of make sure I get it on right. Yeah. And see, it's as simple as that. We just roll it, and I've got a braille roller somewhere, But I'm gonna take this little flat piece here and just kind of go gently over the top of the paper. And make sure we can get it. I'll pick up some goop on my desk and put this up since we're through with it. Okay. And I'm gonna pick this up and dry it just a little bit from a distance. I'm not gonna hold it up real close to it. And see if I see any bubbles at all, and I don't, or wrinkles. See, I'm not holding it real close, but I am just kind of, and we'll see if there are any places that need to be touched up. And I see one right here. Okay, Mod Podge. I knew that was going to dry pretty fast, and I was putting on a thin coat toward the edges to not get a lot on the table, so I need to go back and touch up just a few little places here. Yeah, here's a little place right on the edge that needs just a little Mod Podge. Let's see. Okay, I think that was it. We had 2 places. And that is pretty good. Okay. Now I'm going to take, if I've got any paper sticking over the edges, this little sanding block will get it off and have a really smooth edge for me. It is a great way to do your final fitting of your paper on your project. And you can get these little sanding sponges anywhere. I usually get mine at Lowe's. You can even get them at Dollar Tree if they have them. Mine doesn't have them real often. I have caught them in there a few times before. And there are some other places. I'm sure Home Depot has them too. And even Walmart probably has them. I've never bought them there, but I bet they may have them too. Okay, so I'm just kind of sanding the paper off at the edge of the heart. And that way we don't have a raw edge of a paper hanging out over the heart, you know, a 1/16 of an inch or whatever. And it looks really smooth and finished, just like you meant for it to look. So there's our heart, and that's our paper on it. So the next thing we want to do, we want to put some trim on this heart. And I thought at first that this trim here might not show up. It's some little trim with little balls on it, the little pom-pom balls. But I think it will on the tree or where I hang it. So now we're working on this, and we're going to put the trim around the heart. And I'm going to work with some hot glue. And we're going to start down in the pointed part at the center of the heart. And I'm going to lay down just a little bead of glue, maybe for an inch and a half. And then I'm going to put our trim on. And hold it in place for just a second and keep working my way around like that. Okay? So, a really thin bead of glue. Not a big bead, just a little thin bead. and keep working around. I wouldn't go more than a couple of inches at a time and get that all in place before you proceed. Okay. This would be something you could do with your teens, your preteens. You might not want young kids having access to hot glue, but you know, and you could do another type glue. It would just take it a little longer to adhere and stay in place. But I would, you know, under some supervision, and you could do this with your young children. I know when I was younger, I loved anything crafty. I had some aunts that taught school, so they were always coming up with crafty projects for us. Which was good. Okay, and I'm just slowly working my way down. Okay. Okay. It will not take but just a minute to get all the way around this, and it's so cute. It definitely gives it a period around the heart. The paper just doesn't float out into infinity. And I think it's going to be as cute can be when we get finished with it here. Couple of inches. So what kind of New Year's resolutions have you guys made? I think mine's to be happy. And to be happy, you're grateful, thankful, and blessed. So I think it covers everything that you can think of to be happy. So I'm not going to let other people steal my joy this year. I am determined to be happy. So I'd like just a little bit getting around here. Tiny little bead of glue. Can be kind of delicate to lay down, but you know, just take your time. Don't be in a hurry. And it will be okay. And there's some gray looking background in this paper I didn't even realize was there until I put it on this heart. It's neat. I really like it. It looks kind of vintage looking and not so new, which is good. I like the vintage look. I like vintage and farmhouse, shabby chic, traditional. I like a little bit of all of it sometimes. I'm not into primitive quite as much, but there are times I like primitive, and Christmas is one of those times I like primitive. So, and you will see me do some primitive. hear something kabooming. Did any of you guys watch any ball games yesterday? Did you have any teams playing? Our beloved Rebels, though Miss Rebels played, but they got beat. Our quarterback was injured, I understand, pretty early in the game. We didn't get to see the game. And that was a bummer. But you know, those things happen. And I was proud for Baylor. If anyone had to beat us, they've worked hard this year. They've had a good year. So, okay, here is this finished. So, it's got a little, it's kind of a little shabby chic heart with some trim on it. And now, I've got a hole in the heart, but I don't have a hole in my paper. Let's see where it is. It's right in here. And I'm just going to stick my round little end of a paintbrush through, and it makes a perfect little indentation, a little circle, to put me some ribbon on. And as cute as it looks now, the ribbon is going to bring it to life, girls. So, I've got some ribbon. It's about 1 inch wide, and it's the tiny little red and white gingham checks. And I'm going to use that as a holder and make a bow with it. So, we'll do it like this. And I've got a string, probably, let's see how long the string is. It's about 9 inches long, so it's about 18 inches of string of ribbon here. And then I'm just going to wrap it and tie a knot and pull it through like this to hang on the tree or mantle or wherever I should choose to put it. It'll be like this, okay? But I'm not finished with it yet. I want to do I want that to hang there, and I'm going to put just a little glue right here to hold the ribbon in place where I want it to stay, like that. And then I'm going to make me a little gingham ribbon, a little bow. I love gingham. You can never go wrong with some gingham. Okay. And now I'm going to pull me off a small piece of some little red satin. It's maybe 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch wide. And I'm just going to tie it around the middle to hold my bow. And all I did was I did a double bow in my hands with little tails. And it's as simple as that. And I'm going to let the tails of the red ribbon hang too. Okay, so I'm going to take a dot of glue and I'm going to put it on my other ribbon here. Yeah. And now I need to do these tails. I'll do some little dovetails on the water check. I think they just look a little more finished than cut straight across. And the little ribbon, I do cut it at just an angle, but you can hardly dovetail it and really tell it. Okay, so now we've got a simple little heart with a hanger and some ribbon on it and some trim on the edge, and we're going to put a little piece of bling on it. Let's see. And I usually get my bling. I've gotten it everywhere. Honestly, I would be afraid to say where I got this because I've had it a while, but you can get bling all kinds of places. From Hobby Lobby to Walmart to Amazon to the Razzle Dazzle Bling. Okay, and this is kind of a little snowflake, but piece of bling. It looks kind of like a snowflake to me. But I'm gonna put it in the middle, and how cute is that for our first heart to make for Valentine's? It's just as cute can be. I hope you enjoy this today, and I hope you'll make one and come back to see me soon. Thank you. God bless.